RTS is a very conservative genre and innovating is pretty difficult here. One step in the wrong direction and your fanbase starts hating you, as it happened with CNC4 and Dawn of War 3. At the same time, it's still necessary to move forward and keep improving. The main problem for many RTS games has always been this creative stagnation, accompanied by overall difficulty of the whole genre. And let's admit it, playing RTS is not relaxing at all, and the majority of RTS games are on the same page with this issue. So for Stormgate, it's crucial to maintain that fragile balance between adhering to the RTS genre and also doing improvements to many things that could be done better. It's such a hard task, especially because it has to fill the shoes of StarCraft 2, in my opinion the best RTS game that has ever been created. So, looking at the better version of the game, was Stormgate able to succeed, at least partly? Well, actually, it did a great job with many things, so let's dive into it. One of the main difficulties for RTS games is mechanics. No matter which game you play, you gotta be fast and have a decent level of multitasking and microcontrol to succeed. In the 90s, the controls was simply horrible. In Brood War, both pathfinding and limited unit selection looked like it was designed to make you suffer while playing it. StarCraft 2, on the other hand, took a big leap forward to improve every single detail, and it plays way more smoothly than most RTS games. However, even with StarCraft 2, there were many things that were added only with time. In Wings of Liberty, you couldn't really select your army with F2 key, you didn't see your drone count in the upper right corner, you couldn't use warp gates as Protoss by simply clicking one button, and so on. While it had many improvements over the course of the next 14 years, the core difficulty remains in place. You still have to build a lot of units, and it's especially painful for the Terran and Protoss race, because you need to select each production facility, buildings with upgrades, command centers, and so on. It's just really tiresome to do it every game, but you have to do it. Stormgate came up with an innovative system that allows you to simplify this process tenfold. All the things you're looking for are categorized under a few tables that are already binded, and each building is added automatically. You can order units, upgrades and workers without actually doing anything on the map, which makes macro just so simple and satisfying. While you still gotta be fast and skillful, it's such a cool and easy decision that makes it just so much better to play. Another problem that has been persistent with many RTS games, especially with StarCraft 2, is how long battles last. It's incredibly easy to lose your whole army in a matter of seconds, and it happened multiple times on the pro scene as well. While it's a good test for player skill, it's just really annoying to lose what you've been building up for 10 minutes in a blink of an eye. Stormgate tackles this very well with unit HPs and the general length of the battles. While it's possible to end the battle quickly and smash an enemy's army, it's less likely to happen in a second, and usually you have just enough room to micro or retreat. You have enough time to kite, split, and also use the majority of your abilities. Don't get me wrong, the game is still hard, there's a lot of multitasking and essential micro, but it's slightly more forgiving than StarCraft 2, and I think it nails a perfect balance here. The last but not the least is how Stormgate treats map control. In many RTS games, maps don't really matter as much. Sure, you can add one or two unique build orders for a specific layout as in StarCraft 2, for example if you have a gold base, but in general it's not as important as it could be. In Stormgate, maps could single-handedly define your playstyle and how the match is gonna unravel. For example, on Jagged Mall, there are very few creep camps that you can farm and get extra resources, which means you need to be greedy with early expansions and you need to build up your economy. At the same time, it has siege camps that give you a powerful catapult, which allows for early and deadly one-base pushes. On Secluded Grove, on the other hand, there are many more creeps and it's a good idea to take control of the map, which essentially means that you must be aggressive from the very first minute and you should wrestle with your opponent for this map control. Even on a more standard map, it's generally favorable to be present and not turtling in the majority of cases. Creeping is a very good mechanic that basically rewards a more active player. In StarCraft 2, there were multiple balance cases where games tended to stall because of no ways to break your opponent. It was this way with Swarmhost, and you can check out our story about this case and the balance, but it's also still prevalent in modern games. There are still plenty of ZVT late games where each side is afraid to lose units and has to be very passive and extremely methodical and careful with each move. While some players and viewers might like it, turtling in RTS is generally received negatively, and Stormgate gives us just a small advantage for those who try to be active. In addition to aforementioned map features, you can also cut down trees and make extra passages around the map. It's somewhat similar to StarCraft 2, where you could mine crystals to unlock a new path, or destroy rocks to block or open new way for your forces. However, in Stormgate, the scale of it is higher and there are usually more things to open up, which creates very interesting builds and playstyles. Overall, so far it seems like Stormgate is doing a great job at innovating, but also retaining the core aspects of the RTS genre. It takes many things from StarCraft 2 and does a good job improving them, so we are really looking forward to playing more in the future to give it a final conclusion. So far, the gameplay looks really good. What do you think about this game? Share your opinion in the comments and make sure to check out our previous story about Stormgate and unit inspirations in this game. And as usual, have a nice day and see you next time.